Vogt.
Here.
Sears. Lutz. Here. Mattson.
Here.
And Kleiner.
Here, right? We're gonna say the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And how many waivers I didn't see?
Approve the agenda.
Yep, approve the agenda. Oh, sorry, approve the agenda.
Make motion.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Right, no waivers. Approved minutes.
Make motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 26, approve expenditures A through C unless you want to pull that out.
Motion to approve expenditures A through C. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item is financial statements A through K.
Make a motion to approve financial statements A through K.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. We are to the introduction of new staff.
Okay, I would ask principals and department heads to introduce their people. And so we'll start with the elementary.
Okay.
And Dan, Greg is yours.
Okay. Well, we'll start right here. This is Greg Watson. Student Success Family Liaison. Already knocking it out of the park. Got some outstanding staff in the elementary. Brianna Owen, 5th grade. Outstanding. Riley Andrus, 2nd grade. Who else is here this new? I don't think. Holly Heisinger. Hey, special ed para. And I got some other ones that aren't here tonight. Stacy Buff, our new secretary. Jackie McKnight, kindergarten teacher. And I didn't miss anybody, did I? Okay. Let's see, Jace Williams, we swiped down from the middle school. He's doing fantastic in 4th grade, and Will Maldy's PE, and kids are loving him already, so. Our new staff.
And then before we go to middle school.
Leah Peters.
Well, go ahead.
Sorry, I meant Miss Leah Peterson. Okay. Special ed.
Before we move on to middle school, I'll just point out, you know, and it's not unusual for a person, anybody can come to a board meeting, but Tony Altoff is doing his internship with Mr. Van Bibber in administration. And so he's, I assume that's why you're here. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's gonna be disgruntled about something and speak. But Tony's been attending a few of our admin type meetings and observing and learning from Dan a little bit there, so.
Awesome.
Okay, Mr. Beagle?
Yep. So I'm happy to introduce Amy Barth. She's our sixth grade special education teacher. Joe Lunsgaard, he's an 8th grade para. Kyla Bushnell, she's teaching 8th grade language arts and social studies. Isaac Osgard, he's middle school CTE. And we do have Andrew Karp.
He had a conflict, but
Yeah,
yes.
Andrew
middle
Karp is
school.
our tech and library contact over at the middle school. He's also doing a great job. So I'm really pleased with everybody. They're doing a fantastic job so far. So thank you for being with you guys.
All right, at the high school, I'm new, Mike Emprock, so let's start with me, I guess. You guys met me last month. We're gonna start a great group at the high school. Really proud of how we got off to a great start, but we're gonna start in the front row. Our new science teacher, Eric Allen. Leon Biggs is English teacher. I don't think he made it. He had an appointment, couldn't make it. So Leon Biggs is teaching English language arts. Also not able to come tonight because I think he's still coaching. Dylan Gillespie is our health and physical education teacher. Going back to who we have with us today, Becky Mackey is social studies here at the high school. Mandy Rantapa is doing family and consumer science, mostly at the high school, but she has some middle schoolers as well. And likewise, Katie Wolf, who's doing visual arts, most of it at the high school, but has some middle schoolers as well. And then also Sydney Berger is a paraprofessional with us here at the high school. But we're off to a great start, great teachers and staff here so far. So
We'll do a quick introduction of us, maybe, because some of these guys probably don't know who we are. So, I'm Amber Vogt. I'm the chairman of the school board.
Lexi Lux.
Tim Madsen.
Jody Campbell.
Thank you guys all for taking your time to come tonight. Appreciate it.
Feel free to stay if you'd like. I'd like to take it all in, but if you feel like you want to scoot, there's no judgment here.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, well, that was. All right, so new business, contracts.
Pretty extensive contract list, and I guess, if it's okay with the board, I would refer people to the contract list posted in the, board packet online. So you can kind of look through all of those. It's just a long list, I don't feel like, unless you make me.
I told him it's probably okay. We could probably read through it ourselves.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Next item is the change order for the asbestos removal in the middle. Of course, we ran into this one.
So in those two classrooms that they tore the flooring out over, the half of each one of them classrooms had some asbestos tile in it. We had that already removed. The total on that was $12,738.
Make a motion to approve the change order.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Carries. All right, admin reports, Dr. Pearson.
Hey, I just got a little bit of a laundry list here, but, and heads up to Amber Deers, who is not here. She is on the CSIC, Curriculum School Improvement Council. Those meetings will start up for the school year a week from tomorrow. And, you know, we're kind of already finding some, I don't know if I'd say holes, maybe holes, glitches with some curriculum that was ordered here in the past year. And just talking with the principals, I think we have a pretty good plan in place, or starting to develop a pretty good plan to make sure that those kind of things don't happen again. But we've got some of our department chairs and our teachers working pretty hard to get the right stuff ordered. And in the meantime, fill in with some supplemental things. So CSIC gets started a week from tomorrow. The land use committee is one of our, land use and housing committee is one of our strategic planning committees and has been very busy. And I was talking with somebody just the other day, and this person said, you know, it seems like with that committee or with that project, you guys, like something's happening. It's like, oh, this is about to happen. And then it's kind of like nothing happens for a while. And then, you know, it's like back and forth. And it's like, well, the reality is, you know, there have been a couple of lulls while we've kind of waited on stuff, but there's just so much that the public doesn't see, like meetings that have to happen behind the scenes. And it's really a kind of a complex concept and a complex project with a lot of moving parts. Bill and Amber and I met with some people just today, looking at a potential trail system that would kind of dovetail in that. And, you know, some of our next steps with that land use committee will be to get the preliminary plat recorded along with the covenants, so the thing is ready for development. And then with that, maybe carving out some of the easier to develop lots that the school district will retain. And within the next couple of years already, we could start seeing some staff housing go up. Some of those things are kind of ready to go. But on the front end, we want to make sure that we've got kind of the infrastructure questions answered for future developers. But then also some things like this trail system. It's a lot easier to put it in at the front side. And then also kind of a neat thing about that, and I'm trying to keep my report short here, but one of the neat things about that is we have potential to put a trail system in there that will connect with the Mickelson Trail. It would serve that neighborhood. And, you know, before there's even a neighborhood there, we could have a trail system that could be utilized by the community, could be utilized by our staff, utilized by our students for some curricular type of things. I could see, you know, science classes going out there, studying plants. I could see PE classes using that, using our own resource for the betterment of our kids. And that's something we can have in place relatively soon before any houses even go up out there. So that's really exciting. Kind of looking at some of those things. Transitioning from that, I want to give a brief update on some enrollment numbers. And I'll kind of compare to end of the year last year. End of the year last year with Job Corps, we were at last day of school, 616 students. As of, date was this, I had Mary print this out September 4th. I needed it for a meeting I was going to. We had 250 in the elementary, 142 in the middle school, 175 in the high school, for a total of 567 plus 38 at Job Corps. So to compare apples to apples, that number, that total enrollment number would be 605.
What was the high school again?
High school is 175.
It's 38.
38 Job Corps. Yep. And so those are some things we're gonna talk about a little more in depth when we do our strategic planning meeting. We'll be coming with some ideas, number one, to address the enrollment issue, but then also kind of taking a look at, you know, if that's not a trend that we can really get reversed, what are the impacts gonna be long range for our school district? So we've got to start looking at some of those things. It's nothing to panic about, but it's always a good idea. You know, I kind of liken it to, you know, driving the Titanic through the ocean. When you see that iceberg coming, you don't make a hard left. It was hard right, I don't know, whatever, port starboard, whatever. Point is, you want to see the iceberg when it's out there a ways away. And that's kind of what we're looking at, projecting some long-term planning to deal with some enrollment, things that are happening. And just kind of to give everybody an indication, other school districts in the area, other school districts across the state are seeing the same thing. Spearfish is down with enrollment, Sturgis is down with enrollment. Belfouche is down. They had some good news. They're not down as much as they thought they were going to be down, but so, I mean, it's just kind of happening everywhere. Newell has really taken a hit, you know, some of those, anyway, it's a pretty common thing around the area and around the state. So we're not alone, at least. Misery loves company.
Sure. We'll probably discuss this a little bit in strategic planning, but I believe with Job Corps, I knew you guys had taken a pretty big hit in your enrollment because of all the stuff going on. Are you guys still pretty far down, or are you starting to see those numbers go back up?
We're still way down.
Okay.
We haven't been able to enroll a new student since April.
So
Due to some other things.
basically, I mean, if we're including Job Corps in our numbers and with what's going on with Job Corps, and I believe you guys are supposed to be able to start enrolling kids here pretty quick, right?
First couple in the next month or so.
Okay.
Yep.
So that should, I would think, impact, you know, where we're at. I mean, it doesn't change what we're at for this year based on the snapshot that they did at the beginning of September, but that would probably help explain a lot of that, wouldn't it?
And we'll see increases throughout the year. We always do.
Yeah.
Those numbers will fluctuate.
Right.
But it is, yeah, there is an overall trend that we need to be cognizant of.
Sure.
And then just kind of the last thing I want to report on, just, and I've mentioned this to you guys, like in some memos, and we kind of started those, but, you know, a couple times a year, I like to meet one-on-one with board members. And I've met recently with Lexi, with that lady, Jody. And, I've got, Tim and I have a meeting set up. Amber and I talk all the time. And, Amber Deers and I are gonna be setting up a meeting here.
Are you saying that I'm gonna have to set up a meeting with you?
I'm saying that you seem to call me whenever you want. so-
Okay.
Okay, and I think that's about all I have. So,
No matter what order would we have November first?
Sure. I was told 5 minutes. All right, so
5 minutes,
I
perfect.
got 12 things. There we go, I'll talk back. Just to expand on the enrollment a little bit, we have 250 at the elementary, that's K-5, and 269 with early childhood. Just a comparison, that's 10 more K-5 kids than last year, and 8 more if you include early childhood than where we started at the same time last year. 3 sections of most grade levels, smaller class sizes, they're gonna prove to be very beneficial. Hopefully we'll see some good gains academically with the kids. Open house, when we started school, was the same format as last year with the scavenger hunt. We had nearly 90% attendance of the kids, so that was fantastic. And then we started the year with the high school activity students to welcome kids on the first day. High fives at the front entrance as they came in, so that was great. Have a lot of new staff, like I said, they're rock stars, our mentors are all set up. Dr. Pearson stole my thunder, one of the staff highlights was Tony Altoff is interning. Congratulations to him, and then Amberly Rogers is working on her coursework and full-time employment through the Pathways program, so that's going pretty well. She's a little stressed, but, first full year of implementation of Math and You. I think we have a little consistency now, K-8, so that's gonna be nice to see how that comes about. And then we're starting some literacy curriculum lookabouts. We're getting some different companies in so that we can start planning what we want to do. Let's see, still continuing the increased communication efforts. Weekly bulletin I sent out to the staff, monthly newsletter to parents. A lot of our staff uses some sort of online platform like Class Dojo or Google Classroom or something to that effect. And then many of our staff do a weekly and monthly newsletter to their parents. Did our first fire drill today. That was exciting. Did not turn it into a full-blown evacuation like last year. We'll schedule that soon. A big shout out to our reading specialist, Stephanie's here. They changed the format a little bit about how we do our beginning of the year's assessments. It was a lot more efficient. Got the teachers involved, got them all completed, conducted the data meetings, and then students are starting their small groups already. So, and they get extra days this year because of the new format for intervention purposes. So that should help. Things coming up, first family night, November 6th, we're having our family fun night. It's gonna be STEM, math, and science. November 6th from 5:30 to 7. So that will be the first of 2 that we do. Same kind of format as last year. We'll have carnival style games and grade levels. We'll put together different activities for families and kids to do. We might be able to display some of our like drones in the auditorium or 3D printer stuff that we got. So we're excited to show off some of that STEM stuff. Winter concert scheduled for December 4th for our music program. Going to do the same style that we did last year in the auditorium up here. Hopefully we'll get near 800 people like we did last year. And some other things going on. We'll conduct our spelling bee with vetted judges. Famous faces for 5th grade, Presidential Wax Museum, possibly a science fair now for 4th grade. So we're planning some new exciting hands-on stuff for our kids. I think that's about all I got. Did I make it, Simon?
More than that. Good job.
Oh,
Thank you.
it's,
Thanks for all the updates on the dates too. That's nice to know kind of
Absolutely.
when you expect things. Mr. Beagle.
Yeah, first thing I wanted to do is thank our maintenance crew for all the work that they did this summer. I know they were super busy. Bill and Barb are just invaluable, so thank you. I mean, all the things that you did were, it's very extraordinary, so thank you very much. Getting some good feedback on our new social studies curriculum. Mr. Campbell scheduled some trainings last year, so teachers were kind of ready to use that, and it's really user friendly. The teachers are very happy with it. With all the controversy about moving to it, it's really wasn't that big of a deal, and everybody's pretty happy with it, so. Again, our new teachers are settling in. Nobody's ran away yet. That's always a good thing. Our mentor and mentee program, like, Mr. Van Bibber mentioned, I think is really an invaluable program that we have for our new teachers. You know, we have a lot of people that come in with a lot of experience, but just, there's a lot of different needs that our new teachers need, and some need a lot more than others. And, I just think it's a great program that we've got here, and we need to keep on that and keep getting better with it. We didn't lose anybody at Outlaw Ranch. We lost a fingernail, I believe, or a thumbnail, didn't we, Amy? From one student, but she got that fixed and was back for s'mores that evening, so everything went well. By all accounts, from our teachers and our volunteers, our students were very appropriate down there. It went really well. It was one of the best groups that we've had down there, and it really went well. And it's such a wonderful experience for them. And again, really proud of our kids and our staff for doing so well down there. Just a quick little update. Bill could give you a lot of information about the remodel. Just kind of my perspective, the noise hasn't been a major issue, but I would probably refer to our sixth grade staff. They may be a little bit more critical on that than I am. I know I talked to Miss Barth today, and sometimes it's a little noisy, but it'll get better. We have temporarily relocated our counselor, Miss Price's office, because there needed to be some work done in there. Whereas the office on the first floor near the eighth grade, and between the sixth and eighth grade that we're using, it seems to be working out really well. The first floor old Gateway lab, everybody remembers the word Gateway, lab has been renovated into Mr. Paulson's classroom. It's very nice. Bill did a really nice job on that. It's really, really pretty, and Mr. Paulson's really happy with it. Classroom storage, the classroom storage room that's connected to the multi-purpose room is now the library. That was a huge undertaking to get the library moved over there, get it functional in just a short time after school started. So it really looks great. There's great big windows there that you can see into the multi-purpose room now, and it looks really nice. The new parking lot is well underway. So it gives us a few little restrictions. We don't have a playground anymore for kids. We've kind of had to kind of deal with that. A lot of kids, in September usually use that. Football, NFL football is on, and usually football is a big thing, but we're working through that. Mr. Lunsgaard is in the multi-purpose room every morning, and there's quite a few kids in there. So anyway, that's about it. Any questions?
Thank you for the update. Mr. Brock.
All right, I think mine's gonna be shorter than both of theirs. The big thing we're working on coming in to the high school is the culture and Digger Pride. You know, Digger Pride is kind of a big thing that sets the tone for everything. Most of you have walked around these halls, you've seen the be safe, be responsible, be respectful. Well, we're just kind of putting a title to that because that is a great mantra to do and think about, not only when you're in a classroom, but when you're in the hallways, how you handle yourself in the auditorium, when you're at a volleyball game or a basketball game, at the cafeteria or in the cafeteria during lunch. We just talk about what's it mean to have Digger Pride? What's that mean in the classroom, in the hallways? So we're talking about that a lot in the classrooms with the teachers, as well as coming from me as the high school principal, really talking about what that means to be safe, responsible, and be respectful. And I think the teachers have really bought into that, and I think that the kids are responding. We have very good kids. Very happy with our high school student population. We certainly have some challenges, but by and large, I think we have a lot of kids that really do want to be here and want to be a part of something and be part of a positive culture. So we're going to continue to talk about high expectations and what that means to be a gold digger, so we're going to keep talking about that. So PBIS at the high school level sometimes becomes kind of a negative thing. You don't see it as much at the high school. I'm kind of proud of the fact that Lead-Deadwood does have it at the high school level. But we're trying to replace this idea of PBIS and what some people see as kind of a negative connotation on giving kids rewards for silly little things and talking more about Digger pride. What's it mean to truly be part of this school and just be a good person in general? You know, so PBIS is just that system that you might get some positive reinforcement for the good things you might get negative reinforcement as well for the things that you shouldn't be doing. Okay, so they're both important. It's important to make sure you coach and correct kids, making sure they understand this is how we need to be. What does Digger pride mean? Means this in the classroom. So PBIS is almost being replaced by the idea of Digger pride. We still have PBIS. We're still giving points and rewards within the classrooms, but it's more about what can we do to promote high expectations and what it means to be a people of good character. So so far, I mean, it's early. We're only 2 weeks in. So far, if you ever hear about kind of referral systems, you have majors and you have minors. Majors are the kind of the big things. You know, somebody's bringing alcohol to school or we get a fight, you know, those are kind of major things. Minors are the kind of like, hey, you talk back to the teacher, or maybe you cussed or something like that. So far, we've only had 1 major and we've had 7 minors. Okay, again, some teachers are reporting and some aren't, and we're looking for some consistency on that. But by and large, the minors mainly are cell phones. The PBIS team, ultimately, what we're talking about, when you look at the data, the biggest thing we need to focus on was cell phones. Okay, that's the biggest distractor and issue within the classroom. I'm sure that doesn't surprise you guys at all. You don't even have to look at the data. But so our focus has been, what are we doing about cell phones and making sure that's not a distractor, a detractor during the classroom environment and to take away from learning. So that's been a focus in August and September. So far, I think we're on a good track. We have had about 3 or 4 cell phone violations that make up most of our minors, but overall it's going pretty well. Update on the schedule. It's just a simple, our master schedule at the high school and even really at the middle school has just changed a little bit. We changed our lunch and study halls. Middle school has lunch after the high school, and then, you know, so high school goes lunch and then study hall. But of course, the rest of our day is, you know, periods 1 through 8. Okay, and then the middle school has lunch after us, and they have, I think, your homeroom before then, So that's the only real big change. So we have 7 academic class periods plus a study hall at the high school. I'm trying to be very intentional about our use of study halls. I see it as an opportunity to really, truly intervene and help kids with extra, you know, to get makeup work, get some tutoring, whether it be in math or social studies. And I see the teachers kind of buying into that, oh, I have this time where I can work with a kid. Yeah, let's use it. Let's make sure we're helping kids any way we need to make sure they're making the grade and being where they need to be. So, and then along that, I already talked about lunch. I think overall things are going well. Great job. Sherry, you're doing a great job there. I think that environment is great. Digger pride seems to be very evident there, but we're going to take it a step further. We have that beautiful courtyard. We're going to start using that courtyard. I think tomorrow's the first day. Juniors get the first crack at using the courtyard. So all juniors, if they want, we'll see how many take us up on it, are gonna use the courtyard. But our maintenance staff has done a great job of providing a really neat environment out there. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. And then lastly, I lied, I'm longer than you two, but lastly, homecoming September 22 through 26. That's our homecoming week. We really get a chance to shine and show how much Digger pride means to us. The student council has been putting together what those dress up days and everything's going to be. Most of it comes down to Friday. Friday is really the big day of homecoming. We are just kind of a heads up. We're moving coronation from where it typically is, and we're going to do it during the day on Friday. That's something I think the student council has been talking about for quite a while. The attendance, I think, in the past has been pretty low and pretty poor. So student council is deciding to, and I told them, I go, hey, I'm the new guy. Don't make me look bad. You know, and that, but they were adamant. It's been something that's been in the works for a while.
I was gonna chime in there. Mike is the new guy. That was not his idea. I saw that unfold. And so if you hear, like, if you hear some pushback in the community, because sometimes people, that's things people get worked up about. It wasn't that the new principal said, hey, at my old school, we did it here. That's not what this was. That came from the student council.
Now, as high school principal, there's three things they say you can't screw up: homecoming, prom, and graduation. So hopefully I'm not taking one of those, but that's what they're adamant about doing. As you guys know, Mr. Lynn's done student council for quite a while. He has a good pulse of our kids and what they want and what we need to do. And I think it's gonna be a great day on that Friday. So, and then we'll have our pep rally, and we're gonna have the kids are gonna use part of that day for games and activities to kind of just have a great team building, culture building day. So it'll be fun. And then we'll have, of course, our parade. Deadwood will have theirs at 2, Lead will have theirs at 3. And then, of course, we got the homecoming football game, announce the king and queen and royalty and all that stuff. So, and no dance. Sad to see there's no dance, but that's not unusual. Lead-Deadwood's not much different than some other schools. The dances just kind of seem to be going by the wayside. But that's it for me. I lied. I was longer. What's that? Yeah, it's, don't quote me exactly. It's something like a song theme. We got the beat, I think. We got the beat. We got the beat, and I think each day is kind of like Friday is We Are the Champions. And I don't know what the other days, I don't have that in front of me, but We Got the Beat is the overall theme. And they're decorating the halls. They're gonna come in, I think, on that Sunday before homecoming week and decorate the halls, and so.
I'm gonna ask the question, Zach's not here to answer it, he probably knows. Since if it's 2 and 3 o'clock, what time does the game start?
6.
We're not gonna have an issue with football players not being able to be part of the parade.
Well, the quick answer is no, we will not.
So here's something that we did
Just
do.
wanna make sure, because,
Since 2 years ago, we had an issue.
Yeah.
And like I've kind of said, and we did it last year, we didn't have an issue really, except the bus driver that we had lined up flaked out, didn't show up to drive the bus. Like, you can do all the planning you want, and if one employee flakes out and doesn't do their job, it becomes an issue. But like, starting last year, this year, I was insistent that we have a meeting. I wasn't there with Mike, Zach, Gary Lynn, and the football coach, and sit down and work out all the logistics of that day. And so that should kind of work it all out.
just wanted to ask.
I'd love to make a promise, no promises, but it should be taken care of where that's not gonna be an issue.
Sounds good to me. I like it. Kind of fun. I like that they're thinking ahead and already have like, usually we don't even know this much this early, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Right? Anything else? No?
That's it for me.
That's it?
Sure.
It looks like, Mary, you have an update on online registration stuff?
I do. Yeah. Last December, Infinite Campus, let us know that, that we would be migrating from the South Dakota state-owned hardware to the Infinite Campus cloud environment. So, during that time, Jamie was really busy getting us set up with the new URLs and the single sign-on. So, and then in July 2nd, it went down, and it didn't take them but about a week to migrate over, and it was all pretty good. We didn't have any trouble during that time. Jamie and I worked at getting the online registration ready for parents, so they could register their students. We opened that up July 17th for parents to start online registration. And as of today, we have a total of 93% of our students have been online registered. So there's about 7% out there that have not. Our secretaries at the elementary and the middle school have been busy trying to get parents to get that done, but we're doing actually pretty good, better than what we have in the past, where it was about 6 years, so, for online registration.
I think it's getting easier once you have kids. And it takes a lot less time. Once you get through that initial, and then it's just fill it out and go.
I think we're gonna start calling it online data update, something like that, because people are so confused with the online registration. They confuse it with the bound registration for activities. They confuse it with course registration for the high school. It's just, yeah, we gotta quit calling it online registration.
Annual
Annual
update is what we kind of,
All you're doing is just updating your in-house information, so if you need to get a hold of a parent.
Yep.
It's in the system.
yeah, definitely. So it's gone pretty smooth, I think.
Okay,
That's it.
thank you. Anything else you want to update, guys? Yep. So that is all we have. We didn't have any, I didn't see any sheets for public forum, right? We didn't have any items for public forum, so the next meeting is in a couple weeks. We are having our strategic planning meeting in this boardroom at 5:30, 6 o'clock PM on September 30th. And then the next regular meeting will be a couple weeks later on October 14th at 5:30 in this meeting. Sure. All right. We're all done. One motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. These are adjourned.